I have a dream where the powerful and the powerless will sit at the same table, where the haves will see the have-nots, not as burdens, but as brothers, where class will not divide us, but conviction will unite us. I have a dream that the oligarchs will remember we must all eat, that the brown-faced neo-colonialists will remember who they are and whose they are. I have a dream that fraternities will build beyond internal architecture into a national bond, that the walls of design will give way to the bridges of brotherhood, not a fraternity of symbol, but a brotherhood of substance. I have a dream that we remain focused, that we stay in our conviction and remain fearless, that we double down, fortified, to return this Bahamaland to the foundation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. All those persons out there, I want to say good afternoon to you. I hope you're well. This is the foundation on this beautiful Thursday, January 22nd, 2026. It's wonderful to be in your company. Always grateful to be here with you as we continue to be able to talk about these things and identify exactly what's happening throughout the country. We're going to talk a little bit more about politics today. I'm sure you know that because we're in this political season and this is what's going to be happening. And so, over the course of, I suppose, the next 5 months strong, we're going to be able to have conversations about these things. There is, in my personal view, humble opinion, there is going to be an early election as it relates to the timeline for when the last election happened in 2021. There is, in my opinion, as we're looking at the landscape of what's happening to things, there's an expectation that we go to election in May, possibly May 10th. This isn't information anybody provided to me. No one said this to me. This is just what it is. As we look at the national landscape and we make a determination as to exactly what's happening out there, this is what it is, right? Um, I want to be very clear with you. There's some things happening. I want to be able to talk to you about that as we continue to be able to move forward and make some things happen in this country in terms of being able to look at it and determine who is who and what is what. Amen. In the papers today, we're going to be able to talk about exactly what we've seen in the papers and talk about those things. And as you bring that forward, just kind of put this out there so persons could see where we are and that we're jamming. Looking in the papers today, we see that Leroy Major has taken on a very strong position, and in the midst of that, we're going to be able to make a determination as to whether or not well, he did what he's going to do, but we're here to assess it. Did it make sense? Should he have done it? Could he have waited? Did it support his organization? Is he, you know what I mean? Like, does it make sense? Uh, Politically, there is a lot of everybody's politically touches now. You ain't do nothing for me. This one ain't do that. This one ain't get this. I ain't get this. Whatever is going on. It's a lot of touches, positions that are happening out here in the country. A lot of persons are indifferent with how things should happen. Not necessarily from a national perspective, but people are more concerned about the fact that what have you done for me? There's almost like a Janet Jackson. What have you done for me lately? Do 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 boom bum. Ooh. You remember that, John? That's just what's happening. Um, People are willing to sabotage their entire political organization simply because they hadn't gotten taken care of the way that they assume, believe, presume that they should have been taken care of. This is going to be a hell of a ride. Tonight, it is proposed that the PLP is going to ratify 14 candidates. Shout out to my good decent people over at Crystal Select. Go check out Crystal Select, guys. Pick them up 325-1416. Find out more information on how you can be able to get that. I told you before, you could still be able to get your logos and so forth and so on that and be able to be in a good space like that. All right, so go check them out. Crystal Select. They are located on East Street South, just south of when you headed south, just south of when you cross over Soldier Road, and on the left hand side, I think it's about 1, 2, 3 buildings in. So kind of, I think it's the fourth warehouse looking space on the left hand side, and he can be able to take very good care of you. Great water, refreshing water. My family drinks it. I drink it. This is, well, my family and I drink it, right? All of us be able to enjoy it. So this is something that we offer. Mr. Clark has been very good. This has been in the country for a long time, and so they're in good position to be able to make some things happen as it relates to being able to ensure that you get good, decent, potable water. Amen. And so you want to go and check them out down there at Crystal Select, right? Crystal Select. All right, guys, it's a beautiful day, and I want to talk to you about some stuff now. My technician isn't here as yet, but I'm hoping that we don't have this kind of a horrible lag today in this thing, right? I'm hoping that we are at least okay today. At least okay today. That we don't have to go through all this kind of foolishness that we would have gone through prior. All right, we can try that. We try something. All right. So let's talk, man. Let's talk about this and let's look at this and let's determine. Let's look at this. Hey, oy, 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 oy. Oh Lord! There's a lot of papers today. It's the obituary day, so a lot of persons would have been able to pick up the paper. If you haven't, you want to know who passed away, pick up your new local newspaper and see exactly what everything is in the paper today. As we continue to be able to talk about that, there is a subtle conversation happening as it relates to this position internally in the PLP with infighting. And so persons are having conversations about this infighting that's happening within the PLP. As we look at that and we identify those particular things, we gonna talk about that, baby. We gonna talk about that also. I did not necessarily agree wholeheartedly, thoroughly, with the position that the Minister of National Security has taken. I did not. I'm not gonna fight him. That's his position. That's his posture. That's, his thing. I will not fight him as he continues to do his thing. But I will say that this is some strange stuff. This is some strange stuff because his language was laced in condescension. His language was laced in condescension, and you don't want that. You don't want it. You want to be able to be very clear in your position, and you want to be able to articulate the support that you have for these particular persons. You want to be able to always be steadfast. He spoke very clearly about his successes and the things that he would have done in his constituency during his time that he was there. In the constituency, he would have been able to speak about that. Praise God. However, the people in Freetown are not saying the same thing. I can't even get no amen. I got a significant call this morning that spoke with clarity about the fact that there are two persons in the race for Freetown. This is the call I got this morning. And the two people in the race for Freetown is Andrew Blue Johnson and Lincoln Deal. And I put that in no specific order. They say that there are two persons in that race. Andrew Blue Johnson and Lincoln Deal. That the race will be between them. That Andrew has an affiliation and there's an affection, right, for him that bubbles from the street. When I say the street is that I suppose everybody has a past, and however that association existed prior. We don't know. I don't know. I won't speculate. I won't say. I don't get in people's business. I don't know. We leave that for him to have a conversation with. And so his affiliation from that particular standpoint and being able to have a very clear, there's an affection, like I said, from the streets. This is the homely fellas. This is the community fellas. These are the people who are from your constituencies. This is what's happening. And when you identify that, and when you see these particular things with clarity, you knew that he had support. I passed yesterday because I drive through Freetown. I live in St. Anne's. I drive through Freetown to go home. And so I drove and I saw his headquarters lit right up, beautiful, nice setup, so forth and so on. It's really nice, right? And I said to myself, I wonder how much votes he can get. I asked, how much votes Blue can get right off the top, and no one could give me a number. All they could say is, "Look, yo, the big boys," and they start calling names of people that I don't know. Almost to be able that these people are synonymous with the constituency, with the community, right? That's what they saying to me. As a result of this kind of a synonymous nature of these particular persons and the support that they're lending to Blue, he's going to be able to have a push. I'm also hearing that Lincoln Deal is giving that constituency his all, with his desire to be able to win, his desire to be able to be victorious. He's showing up. I drove through the constituency a few days ago. I tell you, I drive through the constituency to go home, and I saw him on the ground touching people. Through a corner that I cut through, right? I think is a 5 pound lot. I think this was 5 pound lot, right? I cut through there, going through the back there, do this thing, right? Yeah, because the lines be long. And I saw him, and I say, hey, what's up, bud? He's a beep beep, and keep moving. And when I saw that, I say, this fella really won't win. Not that I didn't expect him to see him, but I say, this fella really won't win. And so when I see it like that, if Blue on the ground and Blue challenging, this is the people say, but Howard, Blue is trending. Blue got people taking the challenge to be able to go do some jogging and do this and do that all over the island. And so Blue is trending, right? Blue's agitation, from observational standpoint, I don't know anything other than that. From observational standpoint, there was agitation that placed him in a position to say that to clean up this kind of this eyesore that exists. I think it's an old supermarket, right, between the intersection of Village Road and Burnett Road, right there on the western side. Yeah, there was agitation for that. Next thing you know, I see dump trucks and this and that and all these things like that. Whoa, whoa! Somebody called me this morning and say, Howard, what's crazy is that they should have given the nomination to Blue. The Free National Movement lost out significantly by not being able to give the nomination to Blue. And I had to have a different conversation with these people. And I had to say to them, you have to understand the optics associated with politics. You have to understand some things. I'm going to get into a deep conversation with you at some point, and I'm going to make you to understand something, all right? Or I'm going to convey my convictions to you. I'm just going to say this to you, and you know, assess your own position and whether or not you agree with this at all, right? But I want to say this to you, and I want to be very clear as I say this to you. I'm not convinced. I just get a text. I'm on the ground today. I'm tackling mass cleanup in every area of Freetown from Camp Road to Mackey Street, right? And beyond. Let's talk more action. Freetown wants blue. Community cleanup, Andrew Blue Johnson. Just get a text. Just get a text. My phone just went off. Just now. And so when I'm identifying these things, and when we're talking like this, we got to be clear in our position. I'm watching, man. I am watching, and I'm watching with significant interest because I just got to try to fix this, guys. Hold up. Because this is what's happening in the country. We wrote all 41 seats last night down. This is the third dispensation, the third iteration of conversations about specificity with every rollout that have happened over the past few weeks that Garth and I would have had about where victory lies for these particular persons. This is the third conversation, third iteration that we would have had. And in having those conversations and being able to speak about it and speaking with clarity, we've come to one conclusion. Whoever is the victor is taking 26 seats. And we stretch it out far and wide. We stretch it out far and wide. And we're going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. The PLP has some challenges. The Prime Minister is going to speak with specificity to what he's done in the House of Assembly. He's going to speak in the House of Assembly for what he's done in Grand Bahama. We're going to be able to hear about that and some of the initiatives and where things have happened or didn't happen in Grand Bahama. And I'm sure that Grand Bahamians are eager to be able to hear that and make a determination as to what's happening. Mitchell, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and Fred Mitchell said yesterday that the Grand Lacan Resort is not a lost cause. He said that the government will travel to Grand Bahama next Monday and the Prime Minister will address the issue surrounding the resort. It's not a lost cause, Mitchell said to the majority room in Parliament. I keep saying life in the best of times is difficult and torturous. And you think that you've got things on the smooth trajectory, and then something happens. You see, you make a decision, for example, to build a school in this country. And from the day the cabinet makes that decision, it's 3 years before the shovel gets in the ground. He says, why is that? And that's just how life is. So you try your best to get these things done. I get them done expeditiously, but things come in the way. He says that that doesn't mean that the project is dead. It just means that you have to keep at it. I am convinced I am convinced that they're trying to be able to beat a modern issue with a traditional mindset. I am convinced that not just this administration, I'm just convinced that there is a very clear desire to be able to beat a modern issue that has to do with travel, that has to do with proximity, that has to do with access, that has to do with opportunity, that has to do with beautification, that has to do with a consumer desire, that has to do with so much things. You're beating a modern issue of making a determination as to whether or not this is a viable space for people to travel anymore, whether or not people have made decisions to be able to travel here, whether or not this has enough entertainment to be able to be sustained in this particular space. You are trying to beat this modern issue with an old school stick. I believe that. And I believe that goes for the PLP and the FNM. Because both of them have been stuck in Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama no longer. Grand Bahama's hotel accommodation should be for the techies that come there. That's what the city should be. That's what the city should be. That's what I envision. That's what I see. I see dome houses. I see, houses that the wind can rip around it. I see houses that can be, I could see Grand Bahama. I'm from Grand Bahama now. Remember that. I could see Grand Bahama as a space where there has been a tremendous amount of innovation poured into it. I see Grand Bahama as a space where persons come and they try out their new spaces. I see Grand Bahama as a space where people move from all over the Bahamas, all over the Caribbean into this space. I see Grand Bahama as a space that can be able to become free range for a great deal of people, right? I see Grand Bahama as a space where international people live, right? Where there is significant diversity, right? Where the country has yielded the island unto itself, and that sort of a quasi government. I'm not talking about the Port Authority. I'm talking about the potential that exists in Grand Bahama. I'm talking about futuristic concepts. I'm talking about roads that absorb water. I'm talking about a space where you can be able to try out things, right? Such as hurricane resistant stuff, right? So you raise the level, you use different type concrete, you identify these things, you find the durability of this, you do testing, you do this, you do that. I see Grand Bahama as a tech city. I see Grand Bahama as a tech city. I see Grand Bahama as a tech city with pockets such as West End and other places that are sleeping villages where the persons who are working within the city center, within these other spaces, can be able to go and escape to and be able to find another home away from the home that they're developing, which is steeped in tech. I see Grand Bahama as that. I see Grand Bahama as a space where the acreage that we've been talking about. That's tens of thousands of acres that exist there. There should be a significant dedication to be able to ensure that you can create something significant in that space. I see Grand Bahama as an amazing space. I do. I do. I think the government sees it as the necessity and instant gratification of being able to ensure that the people that live in this space right now could live, they could eat, they could breathe, they could survive, they could take care of their children, they could pay their bills, they could do this, and they need to be able to do that now. And the only way they can do that is try to fix some of the issues that are dated. These issues are dated in Grand Bahama. It's dated. Their born on date has passed. They're expired, whether that be the Xanadu Beach, whether that be the Casa Bahama, whether that be the Lighthouse Point that's attached to the thing, attached to the hotel, whatever that is, their born on date is expired. When you go to the Lighthouse Point right now, when I worked there years ago, there was mold infestation, that we had humidifiers in every single room. There was mold, that people who have sensitivity to asthma and other things couldn't even stay in that room. When I worked there in 2004, 2003, 2002, when I worked to the hotel, we couldn't send people in that direction. When I worked there, Grand Bahama, people are looking, and more specifically the Ritz Carlton, right? The Ritz Carlton and these other resorts, I think Disney and other places are looking elsewhere. They rather land from nothing and to create what the market demands. No one can shove down anybody's throat this old school concept. Listen to me. Everywhere you go, people making modifications for modernization. Everywhere you go, including in your house. I see my wife tell me these tiles are old. We need more modern tiles. Excuse me, ma'am? What? And I don't disagree with her. I tend to agree with her. The aesthetic appeal to make us to understand that we are in the same time zone as everybody else needs to be represented in this space. It needs to be represented in Grand Bahama. Everybody beating Grand Bahama with an old switch. We can fix this hotel. We can fix this hotel. We can build again, Sumar. We can build again. We can do this. The last time you shoved something down somebody's throat was Bahama. That didn't work out well. It may have bode well with the idea of being able to attach itself like a wagon to the legacy of the former prime minister, but it didn't necessarily bode well for the country. While you built that and gave all the concessions in the world, you give no consideration for the fact that there are Airbnbs that people popping up all over the place, taking their own hard-earned monies and being able to pop up because there is a desire for persons to be able to have more of an authentic, the pursuit for Bahamianization, the pursuit for the people-to-people program is evident that the market is rich, ready, ripe to be able to taste the flavor of the authenticity of who we are as a people. They don't want to go to the big resorts. They don't want to go to the big resorts. They want to stay where the locals are. And if tourism being our number one industry, there should be diversification that exists in our portfolio. It should not, everything should not be shoveled through the eye hole or the pinhole of anchor projects, major projects. But as soon as persons gravitated, right after you would have done everything that you would have done to be able to fix the legacy and project this sort of an idea for what existed for uh, um, Bahama, simultaneously as people building their houses and being able to shift their duplexes, what people was in pain and they made modifications and they created an environment, they secured it, and then they pitched it up on Airbnb. You say, hey, hold on, we could tax this. You give the people no concessions, none, none. This, especially after the pandemic, was a crucial thing. Crucial. And I thought that the FNM was heartless for that. Heartless. It's a crucial thing for the survival of people who didn't have a job. That we could simultaneously afford, even in the midst of COVID. And the threat of being able to be sick, people had to take that chance. They built this space with nothing that they had, the little that they had, and many people was limping, seeking to be able to survive and take care of themselves. They created a space, fixed that space up with the time that they had, and people came to that space. They make a good money. They blew them away. Put another unit, put another unit, blew them away, blew them away. That they would make money from these particular things and quick turnarounds. Quick turnarounds. And you tax it. The government of the Bahamas tax it. You tax it. You tax it. You decided that, all right, this is a way for the government to be able to get revenue in. With the help and the wisdom of those persons, within your regime, you taxed it. And you taxed Facebook. You did everything that you can do to be able to muster $2 from the Bahamian people. The people who trying to make their money. This is the stark difference that exists between the FNM and the PLP. They said that what I don't like, and what I understand, but what I don't like is that these policies that continue to be able to cripple uh, and cause the knees, economic knees of the poor man to buckle, that are instituted by the Free National Movement, never made modified by the PLP. A great deal of them. You're never modified. There's no stop, review, and cancel by the PLP. There's none. For the most part, you just let this thing slide through. There's no stop, review, and cancel. There's no desire to be able to rectify these particular issues. You just let it slide through. You just let it happen. You let it happen. And as a result of that, this is where we are. This is where we are in this country. But I hate this. I hate this sort of an idea that everyone continues to be able to beat a dead horse in Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama has a capability on its own, and there's talent in the country on its own to be able to identify people. Once we can get, listen to me, man, let's just be shoot straight. Let's shoot straight. Once we could get that line, once we could do what we have to do, once everything is taken care of, once you could be able to make sure that the airport is taken care of, and people could be able to come to the country in masses, the island will change. The island will change. The island will change. You know that there are more people based upon proximity to the United States of America, the East Coast more specifically. There's proximity that'll bring people over. There's still a rich avenue of being able to do casinos. So go look for one of them Indian casinos and see whether or not they have a desire to be able to come over. There is still opportunities and affiliation to be able to do this. You don't want to be able to make it almost a gambling town, but you want to be able to do attractions. There has to be golf for these people. One of my white friends told me, Howard, what about pickleball? Right? I say, oh yeah, pickleball, right? There has to be the attractions. And I say that because this is what is on the mind of persons who are established and who have money that can make a decision to do things. There needs to be an environment created. What Albany did was they created an environment, and they had the affiliation to be able to do this. You need to sell the island as a resort. The island. You need to sell the island as a destination. Yeah, and then there needs to be an affiliation. You identify it. So when you hear from Lenny Kravitz, you know he can talk about Eleuthera. Yeah, you need to find an affiliation of people who's saying, I want to go to Grand Bahama. And that's light work. None of y'all are thinking, and it's an exhausting thing. You're more concerned about being able to cut here, cut there, and that's how you're making your money. There is no creativity that I'm looking at that exists in these spaces. There's no creativity beaming and spilling out of the Port Authority. There's no creativity beaming and spilling out of the government of the Bahamas. You expect all of us to be in this exact same position. It's an exhausting, exhausting thing. It's an exhausting thing. And I say this to you, I mean this. This is absolutely exhausting. Absolutely exhausting. That you've placed us in this position with an expectation that, you know, we should just know, we should learn. No. Grand Bahamian people are adaptable. If you were to properly introduce tech, this is not a big thing. Grand Bahama is prepped for tech. They got good proximity, they got cables running under, they got fast internet, they got this, they got that. They are prepped for tech. Now you collectively, the quasi government, the Port Authority, all right, and the government of the Bahamas need to be able to come to a consensus that we're going to be able to create a a zone where persons could be able to do certain things. That Grand Bahama would be an island for that. That we're open up to people from an international standpoint. The persons could come here and find remote work to do this, to do that, to live, to do this. And there are opportunities that exist here. But nobody coming if you infix the airport. If major flights don't come through, nobody coming. You don't need to hurt yourself to try to figure out who can build what to be able to accommodate the people that you see in your mind to come to Grand Bahama. No, no, no. All you need to do is focus on one thing at a time. I had a conversation with my guys most recently, right? Over a project that we want to be able to do, right? And my guy's so excited about this project. He started to talk about, something that could potentially be 5, 10 years down the road. And in the midst of this conversation, I say, hold on, wait. Let's just bite off the amount that we could chew right now. That's it. That's it. Let's chew. Let's just make sure all of our teeth can be able to grind into this particular thing that's in our mouth. Let's do that and let's consume this one thing first. Let's complete this task before we jump onto something else. We have this ambition where we're trying to be able to project the concept of what the influx that can happen in these particular spaces. Everything that finds sustainability happen organically in this country. Yeah, the sustainability and the growth that existed in Abaco before Dorian was a natural thing. It wasn't it didn't happen with uh, government interjection and their influence significantly. No, the people of that community recognized that there is an appetite for this, and so they poured into that. There's an appetite for this, and so they poured into that. That is what happened. That is what happened. What happened in Harbor Island wasn't the government being able to identify that and being able to infringe upon it. No. And possess and do some sort of you know, acquisition of land and saying that this is what the government didn't do that. The people of Harbor Island understood this is what we need, and they gradually built what they had. There is sustainability. People still go there. Or rickety this and rickety that, and a couple of people, and people still go there. They love this place. They love it. People don't go there for the aesthetics. People go there for the community. Grand Bahama is so sparsely separated that you don't even have community. You haven't even identified how do we create and sustain community. You haven't done that. You haven't focused on the creation and the development of community. You focus on Freeport. You haven't done that. You have not done that. And as a result, this is where you are. This is where you are. There could be no expectation, man. There could be no expectation that Grand Bahama is to do exactly as you say. And you're feeding this to a generation that doesn't want it. They don't want, no one wants the big, the big hotels. No one wants that. People want intimacy. People want community. People want experiences. People want to get away from the crowds. Pour some money into Airbnbs. Create an Airbnb community. Yeah, yeah. Identify 300 acres and indicate that anyone who's building, this is the 3 templates that you can build. 1, 2, 3 templates that you could build. This is how much the property is. You could be able to lease this property from the government for an extended period of time. They go from half an acre, right, to an acre to up to 3 acres for one particular project. And you develop that particular project, you identify those things. You don't have to even put parking on the inside, make the parking very small. You put the parking from a general standpoint, create a job for these particular persons to pick people up, just like a thing, drive them inside. Come on, we could figure this out, man. We could figure this out. This ain't no difficult thing. We figured this out. Once you create an Airbnb community where persons could be able to come, you put a cultural center in the middle, you do some folklore, some tales, some this, some that, on nights where you could be able to throw a couple cut the back of a hog off and throw it on the grill, throw some beer on that, and let the air being able to be filled with the aroma of the native Bahamian land, and let it touch the nostalgia of these particular persons and start to tell the stories whilst they're enjoying a collect beer, whilst they're enjoying a sans beer. Let them tell a story. Let them understand these things whilst they're being able to sit down and break bread with the people that they love around them, having a new experience. This is what the Bahamas is about. This foolishness about these big damn ICA projects is crazy. Nobody wants that anymore. Nobody wants that. My wife is round me right now. She said, you know, I have a peculiar thing, and I've broken away from it. Right? When this Airbnb thing first came out, I was peculiar. I didn't want to go and spend time in people's bed and people's house and this and that. She said, "You go to I had to, I had to juxtapose it in my head to what I do in the hotel in a hotel." She said, "Most people stay in these bed, and I never think the same way that I think in a home. I just feel like there is a sense of intimacy that exists here." And I didn't want to be able to disrupt the sanctity of this particular home. I'd prefer to stay at a regular hotel. That's what I said to my wife. She says, "No, you're missing it." And then she started to talk to me about how people get their own rooms. We get different proximity. We live here. We could cook. We could clean. We could enjoy ourselves. And blah, 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 blah. And so she convinced me. And I stayed and I had a beautiful time. Because when we don't stay there, we stay at like a candlestick or candlewood, right? I can't remember the hotel name, but it has like an apartment feel. And so you cook and clean and everything. You could cook and stuff in there. So if I'm doing that, why not? Why not go to the Airbnb? When I went for my Chat GPT certification, I met some people, and in meeting some people, these guys invited me to their home in Miami, an Airbnb. They say, "How we get an Airbnb?" Airbnb, beautiful place. Beautiful place. You hear me? Gorgeous. Gorgeous. And I went there and I said, "This is absolutely beautiful." We sat down, we broke bread, they cooked, they this, they that. We had a beautiful time just being able to sit down and have good conversations till late. You understand? Airbnbs doesn't have to even be called Airbnbs in the country. Our leaders aren't thinking, man. Our leaders aren't thinking. And that doesn't just go for governments. That doesn't go for this administration. I'm talking about even those that sit in positions at the Port Authority, because I'm watching them pursue significant spaces. I'm watching them pursue significant uh, um, businesses and trying to attract these established traditional concepts back into Grand Bahama. People don't want that. Put 300 acres aside. Put infrastructure in it. Let the government take for 300 acres, put $10 million worth of infrastructure. Run all the pipes for water. Give me all the poles in those areas. Cut up the properties like this. Boom, 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 boom. In these particular areas. Create the environment that's identified strategically to be able to call it the people village. Mhm. Or whatever you want to call it. Just make it an intimate name that people know exactly that this is not the regular thing, right? You have reenactors that go into this particular spaces. You have mango trees that run the length of the 200 acres. You have cocoa plum stuff there. You have native trees. You bring in your hummingbirds. You bring in these things, everything native to the Bahamas. You get all these things. You create a beautiful space. You create a beautiful space when the people walk in. Oh my God. When the mango's in season, you could pick mango. When guava in season, you could pick guava. When hog plum in season, you could pick hog plum. Scarlet plum, you could be able to pick those things. Tangerine, sour sop, all these things. You got someone who could walk you on the trail and tell you what this fruit is for, what that fruit is for. You got uh, um, Sorosy running wild. You got the this is good for this. You got shepherd needle. You're making these things. Go pick your stuff. You can make your smoothie with this. You got all these things to create an authentic Bahamian experience. And all you want to do is run after China and run after these big boys for anchor projects, and you're not thinking. You're not thinking. Let Bahamian people invest themselves into this. How do you do that? Bust up the 200 acres. Bust it up. Put the infrastructure there. Bust up the 200 acres. Boom, 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 boom. Chop it up. This is how it's going to be able to look. You put the road through it. Make sure the road there. You give it a timeline. 18 months, we expect this to be done. The government of the Bahamas is affording you opportunities to be able to get this. Okay, if you get this, these are the concessions that you bring. You can get these things. We're going to be bringing in things every quarter. All right. First 3 months, we can bring in stuff. The second 3 months, we can bring in stuff. Every quarter, the government of the Bahamas is giving those persons who have access to this 200 acres. We're going to give you an opportunity to be able to bring in things free. We have this affiliation in China. We have this affiliation in America. We have this affiliation. We're going to talk about energy. We're going to talk about being able to give energy back to the grid. We're going to talk about these things. All of this encompassed in this small space. And you let the people be accountable for this themselves. So if I want a piece of property and I say, listen, I got 2 acres, I got this property, I want to be able to put a 4-story here, and I want to do this, this, and this is the concept of how I can be able to treat these people, how I can deal with these people, how I can do this, how I can do that. All right, Howard, we can give you the property, or we can lease it to you. All right, so how you can lease it to me? Howard, we can lease the property to you. And in leasing the property to you, we're going to do it for $1 for 10 years, $1 a year for 10 years. There's stipulations. We expect you to be up and running within 18 months. If you have your own contractor, that contractor needs to be able to meet these specifications with BCA, Bahamas Construction Association, right? Once they meet these particular requirements, they have all these particular things. Once we identify this, boom, 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 we're good. How much you need for the project? All right, I can need $4.5 million. 4.5. How are you going to get the money, Howard? Well, if you give me this land right out, I could be able to use this collateral. Okay, the government of the Bahamas go into an agreement. We do whatever you have to do. Bang, boom. You get the land, you use the land as collateral. You find other partners to be able to come in with you to ensure that everybody can stand up, sign off on this collateral. You get this collateral, you build. Boom, 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 boom. You build. You got 100 different groups of people in the Bahamas doing the exact same thing on this 200 acres. You create, with the government being able to create an infrastructure on the inside there, you create a warm environment. People will never leave that. They will never leave. You do it on West Grand Bahama. You do it on West Grand Bahama. And you tell them they could bring their private jets and all these things in right to West End. They could bring their yachts in. They could do all these things right there. They could create a space in the shallow water of the northern Bahamas to be able to bring their yachts up and bring their boats in and have a beautiful marina and stay right there into this gorgeous space. 100% Bahamian owned. It didn't take $827 million. None of that. None of that. And if you build it, these people in Florida are coming. I am telling you, they're coming. They are coming. They will be here every weekend, God said. Every weekend. And so when I look at these things and I identify what the government has done and being able to talk about, I see where the chairman of the PLP is being able to take on this kind of a position to indicate that the woes of life and the tribulation associated with a desire to be able to move forward despite your intention, there is sort of tribulation that actually stop you from being able to do that. But I've recognized that as a broke man, when I don't have the money, I have to imagine my way out of this issue. I have to create a road out of this issue. And that's what I've been doing. I have to create a solution. Nobody can give me a solution. I got to create a solution. I got to create a solution and imagine my way out of these particular issues. And a lot of persons aren't doing that. They're just not. And so when I'm reading this and I'm reading him, he says, you make a decision, for example, you build a school out of the country, in this country, and from the day the cabinet makes that decision, it's 3 years before the shovel gets into the ground. And why that is? That's just how life is. So you try your best to get things done. It's bigger than that. If we go in with a very clear understanding that it's going to take us 3 years to do this, we have to be able to be more creative in getting to a solution. We can't keep traveling the same. Nothing I hate more than sitting in traffic in Nassau. I know at 3 o'clock it can be traffic. From 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, we can have significant traffic on the road. I know from 7:30 to about 9:30, we can have significant traffic on the road in Nassau. I see my mommy come over here and she says to me, "Oh, baby, I want you to take me here." And I look at my watch. I said, "Baby, you got to calm down. You got to relax." She said, I need to go." I said, "You can't go nowhere now. You see what time it is on a Monday? You see what time it is on a Friday? You wilding out." I tell my mommy, I said, "You wilding out. You could wait an hour. You can wait an hour anyhow. You can wait an hour. Just chill out." "Oh, I got to do this." You should have thought about that an hour ago. You should have said this from yesterday. I hate traffic in Nassau. If I got to hit the road a certain time, I tell you, I get all through the little jokes around and people going around the back, boom, 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 trying to be able to figure out a way to keep it moving to get to my objective. And guess what? It may take me the same amount of time if I'd waited. I don't know that. You think I'm sitting down here waiting? No, I got to keep moving, baby. Let's move. You think I'm going to sit down on the road and say, well, it's going to take me 3 years to be able to get to this, and we can figure out a way to get this done? No, hell no. You see, because I'm not only a member of parliament with responsibilities over this ministry and that ministry and this and all these particular things. I'm a member of parliament first. And I need to be able to ensure that there's sustainability in my constituency. And if we find ourselves at a crossroad that we can't be able to get beyond, we figure this out. We figure it out. Figure it out. All this is negotiation. That's all life is. You got to ask. And so in the midst of asking, you have to make a determination that we can get to the solution sooner rather than later. There is a solution that exists for Grand Bahama. And it doesn't exist through the lens and through the avenue, the path of traditional concepts of accommodation, traditional concepts of entertainment, traditional concepts of community that existed in the past. We got to make modifications to move forward. Amen. Quick break, guys. Going to be right back after this.
Taking Bahamian music to the world. This DJ Sampler, hit that subscribe button like a goatskin drum.
Hello, Ricky, it's Johnny Gate. Man, listen, don't believe they're trying to keep us locked down. Everyone let's go inside the kill man, till I just break it straight, man, that's sweet music. You know why they go there, you know when they go there, it's kill man. Watch this. When the music plays, I'm the first one to dance. Sexy gal gon' whine on me, while my rum in my hand. Reggae spread so sweet, don't think you understand. I go in to mash up the place every time I go by the farm. I always get catch, drinking till I lose and I wet. Nobody gon' watch me if I kill bad and I sweat. On your market set, drunk but I ain't missing. bass sampler. Mercy, mother.
His name was Arthur, he was my papa. He loved to whistle, boy he was good. Plowing the field or catching fish, you could hear Papa whistling like this. Oh, whistle Papa, you whistle so sweet. Hey. He was a Cat Island man, a gentleman. He said to be kind to all mankind. A choir master in Ebenezer, in Dumfries at the church upon the hill. Oh, aye. So fascinating to see someone whistle in harmony, and the look on his face, whistling lead, alto, tenor, and bass. Oh, whistle Papa, whistle Papa, whistle Papa, you whistle. Aye. I still see him in the field, planting seeds.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Foundation with Howard Grant as we continue to be able to talk about what we are and where we are out here in the city as we continue to be able to jam with you and talk about growth and development in the country. Yeah, I just wanted to be able to tell you that, man. I have a love for Grand Bahama. I have a deep love, a deep abiding love for my community. I love it. I love Grand Bahama. I love where I grew. I love my upbringing. I love it. I love my family. I love my friends and of the community. I love them. I love them. I love them. There is a warmth that exists there. Even with the people who I don't like, I love them. I love to see that I don't like this Negro. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love to see the people who I grow up with. I love to see them. I love to hear them. I love how some of them are so predictable. And I know who gonna ask me. I watched this dude ask somebody. I'll never forget. I was a very young boy, right? Maybe 16, 15. 15 or even younger. And I went to an event for Abe Mark High School, right? They was having this kind of a thing. And I get there, right? And this boy from Sea Grape, right? We know the crew who can beg you for money, right? We know the crew who's free up also. They say, come. Free up. We know this crew, right? So I get there and the guy asking for $5 to get in. He asking somebody, man, let me $1. Let me $1. Man, let me $1, right? And he sees me. He see, man, let me $20. What? Whoa. Whoa. Sir, You just asked this boy for a dollar. Why you ask me for $20? Yeah, but how would you got it like that? You think I got it like that because you all could see my mother them big house and my grandmother big house and my cousin's big house and my uncle big house and all these things like that. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I used to go to 8 Barak High School with you. Hello? I'm right here with you. When you all wearing Jordans, one Carolina blue on one foot and the red and blacks on the left foot, I am still in my J.C. Penney tennis. What my mother ain't paid for yet. She get the Deion Sanders and stuff for me from J.C. Penney, right? She had the little J.C. Penney card. It's amazing how I remember these things. But I love my community. I love 8 Mile Rock. Oh, I love them Negroes down there. Mother's sick. I love them. I love sitting on a fish fry, sitting down with my good friend Ryan, sitting by his mother, eating chicken. I grew up with these people. I grow up with these people. I know them. I don't know the young set now, but guess what? The young set is my classmates' children. Listen, my classmates are 40 years old, 44 years old. Anyone in their 40s know me in 8 Mile Rock. Anyone in their 40s and even approaching mid to late 30s, they know me. Lower than that, they know my family. I went to 8 Mile Rock High School. These people know me. If you 50, I might know you. A little older than that, I may not know you, but you know my family. You know my mother. You know my mother. Right? Yeah, because every generation went to 8 Mile Rock High School. We come from Martintown School. We went to 8 Mile Rock High School. We know these people. I know these people. I know them. I remember when they wouldn't even let me shoot dice. Oh boy, Howard, boy, you can't shoot dice. How is it that the degenerates of my class, based upon what the teachers say, wouldn't even let me come and shoot dice with them? I still don't know how to shoot dice. I keep telling you. They wouldn't even let me get a chance. I love them. I tell Duchess mommy, Margaret, I say again on a diet, Margaret. I was always big. Right? So she say, well, Howard, what I can do? She used to do my lunch every day. She said, well, Howard, what I can do? I can give you a little white rice and curry, just a little bit every day. Every day I go there, my food finished. She my lunch, this and that. She put it there. When her daughter see me, Tina them, when they see me, Howard, they got it every day for me. Their oldest brother, Punch. Punch used to be in my house. I love these people, these Moxies. I know all of these people. We grew up in one yard. I know all these people. I love 8 Mile Rock. My daddy from Pinedale, I know these people. When I hear people starting to talk about Grand Bahama, because I work at the hotel, I know the hotel. My cousins, my family live in, and some of them live in out in the east. I know these people. I've travailed and traveled the entire island. I know these people. I know these people. When I hear people talking this kind of a generic concept of what needs to happen for Grand Bahama, there is no heart. When I see certain people working even at the Port Authority, I realize that the Port Authority has lost its heart. There's no evaluation as to whether or not there's a connection to the community. Nothing. It's just another face. It's just like another corporate concept. There is no community. You've killed the community with your relentless desire to be able to pursue capitalism. And that doesn't only go for the Port Authority, that is the government. that you've abandoned Grand Bahama because it doesn't fit this sort of an idea of what you want to do. It doesn't fit. You keep trying to be able to put that thing in there and it just doesn't fit. You're trying to stuff it in there to make it work and it doesn't fit. And because it doesn't fit, you kind of throw your hands up. There's no persistence, there's no passion. The people that you're choosing to represent, for instance, I don't know the candidates that the PLP have chosen for Grand Bahama. I haven't seen them. But whoever they are, they haven't they must be able to show passion. And I want to be able to reserve what I say in about them because I don't know who they are. But I'm looking at the FNM's candidates and they're still not presenting to me any of them a heart for community. There's a heart to serve in the FNM. There's a heart for recognition in your political organization. There's a heart to commit yourself to what the organization requires, but there's no heart to serve in the country, in your community. There's no heart to serve in your community. You have no heart for your community. Listen, I love 8 Mile, okay? Honest to God. I want to send them the children to school. I want to educate them. I want to do after school programs. I want to do adult learning programs. I want to do financial literacy concepts and ideas and programs. I want to be able to create an opportunity for persons to be able to understand how to code. I want to be able to expand. I want to be able to get back to talent shows. I want to be able to do fairs. I love 8 Mile Rock. These people just need encouragement. These are some of the best people in the world. And listen to me. Some of them you hate, but you love to hate them. Is the best kind of people to hate. They just let you know they don't like you. I never like you. Well, that's the same thing your mother say about you. What? Boy. Ah! We laughing. We laughing and we having a good time. 8 Mile Rock. When I see people giving me a generic concept of what these particular things is, I expected better from Kingsley. I expected better. I don't even know what to expect from Omar because his father was associated with the community. His father was associated with the community. And so we knew his father, right? His father used to walk with little limp, slim legs, long, used to be able to push weights and show people how to be able to lift properly and whatnot. He was affiliated with a gym in 8 Mile Rock for a long time. He's a warm guy, man. Warm guy, always driving his red truck, just doing his thing. Warm guy. You understand? And Omar came up under that. He used to play ball on the basketball court. His daddy used to bring him down. He became a part of the community by default. Yeah, by default. Right? He didn't go to our school with us. It's just I gotta be able to give you that kind of a default. If you know, you know. Rocks or shots. If you know, you know. Rocks or shots. If you don't know, I can't explain it to you. If you know, you know. 8 Mile Rock all day. That's me. That's where I'm from. And there's some people in 8 Mile Rock who don't even have this kind of an experience I had, but I had an authentic, rich 8 Mile Rock experience. I went to all the schools. I was immersed in everything in the community. Everything in the community. I was a CYM president. I was in my Key Club. I was in JA. I was whatever my community did. I was there. I doing this too. And so when I see these people starting to talk about this kind of a disingenuous lack of authenticity that they're coming with about a generic concept that needs to be placed here and all these things like that, they don't know the heart of the community. They don't. They don't know the hiking that exists in 8 Mile Rock. They don't. They don't have a heart for it. And I know that they don't. There's just a relentless pursuit for for capitalism. You just want to be able to get something for nothing. You can't do that. I know you don't care about Grand Bahama. I know you don't care. Grand Bahama was forged off of pining. It started with pining. They moved from Abaco to Grand Bahama. And the Turks Islanders that came from Abaco, that was settled, some of them in Spring City. My father was born in Spring City in Abaco. And they moved to Grand Bahama with my grandfather into a place that they call Pine Dale. And they were responsible for being able to do some of the pining. If you go on the northern side of 8 Mile Rock, there is a track there, a train track. And they used to move pine from one space to another in Grand Bahama. I'm telling you this. And the evolution of what life is that the island yielded pine again. Unfortunately, this wasn't, no one cut this down. The ferocious wind and storm of Dorian and other storms came in and decimated the northern side of the island. And so when you fly over Grand Bahama, it looked like you take a bunch of matchsticks and just throw it all over this, a bunch of pine trees that nobody dealing with. And nobody dealing with. It's one of the most depressing places to go to in life. I hate going home now. I hate it. I hate to see my place like this. I hate to see my people hustling and begging for money. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate riding around Freeport and seeing a pile of garbage. What the hell is this? This ain't who he is. I hate it. I hate seeing these buildings look nasty around here, and you're putting one piece of paint on it like I can't see the building no more. I can still see the flipping building. What you doing? All you do is smear lipstick on this mess. I hate it. It's a place I love so much. It breaks my heart to go and see it like this. And what makes me even more enraged is that all these mines that has carriage over Grand Bahama, no one could say, let's start this. It's just one step. It's just one step. Get the pining stuff, get somebody, give them a contract, identify these things, pick up the pine, boom, 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 mulch the pine down, identify those things, send it off, get a dye in it, or find a factory that could do it, put a red dye in it, put a fragrance or whatever he's putting it, nutrients, whatever he's putting the pine, soak it down, distribute it in various bags, boom, 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 sell it throughout the Caribbean. Sell it here locally first and then sell it throughout the Caribbean if you get access. Nobody thinking about that, man. Nobody thinking about that. You're losing money every day and everything else. At least you could do clean up the place, man. Clean up the place, man. I got $17 billion flying over Grand Bahama just before my helicopter land. All these damn things, all these tree laying all over the floor, all this nastiness. I could still see the ring around the building where the storm was. You can't even get somebody to scrub that down. You won't be able to look at that. This is where the storm water receded. I'm like, miss, paint over that. What the hell we got to see this every day for? What you keep showing me this for? You think it's a part of a historic view or something? What the hell you want to do? What Francis? You got Francis and Jane. You got. What the hell you think we live in Pinewood? Eh? No. I don't want to insult Pinewood like that. But you got watermarks in your house from the tribulation that exists in these things. Not all of y'all, but some of y'all. That ain't necessary. We don't need to see these watermarks. This is not a part of the tour. Take it out. Renew, revive, restore, refresh. This is not a part of refresh. Every day I got to see this and be depressed again. When I see they got PTSD, scared. Come on, stop. I hate going home to that. I went home, stayed at a nice hotel that I stayed home at. Man, the cracks in this wall, you would think I was in Harlem or in Watts, California. How much crack was in this wall? I mean, long cracks running through the bell course, running through all these things. And I say, mother sick. This is just not where we come from, man. And so when I hear any politician, any leader being able to speak to a generic concept of what could happen in Grand Bahama, it's an exhausting thing. I love Grand Bahama. And I'm tired of these people using it as a political football. There is this commitment that the people of Grand Bahama has paid to the Free National Movement, and they haven't yielded anything from that relationship. There's no reciprocity in that relationship for you. None. None. There's no reciprocity in that relationship for you. You keep giving seat after seat, opportunity after opportunity to F&Ms in Grand Bahama, and you've received nothing. You're poised to be able to give the F&M another opportunity. I believe that Omar Archer will be successful in West Grand Bahama. This ain't me supporting him. It's me saying to you that I've heard enough about the fact that there's a disgruntled posture for my good cousin Kingsley. And I believe that Omar Archer, I keep saying Omar Archer, Omar Isaacs, I'm sorry, Isaacs. I believe that Omar Isaacs, right? Omar Isaacs will receive the victory in West Grand Bahama. I believe that. Do I want that? I'm indifferent with it. I don't think he has a heart for Grand Bahama. I mean, for 8 Maroc like me. And not that I'm vying for this position. I'll tell you, Stephen grew up in 8 Maroc. I know Stephen Hall. I know him. You understand? Tony, I know her. Lindy Russell, I know him. Verne Grant, I know her. You understand where I'm coming from? I know these people. I know them. I know their family. I know who they come from. I know all these things. I do not know Omar Isaacs. Not like that. I know him to say, yeah, I know the fellow. I know his old man, and so forth and so on. I like his enthusiasm, but I don't know him. I can't say to you that this is what I expect from you if we give you an opportunity. Mhm. I could say this is what we expected from now. People that disappoint you now. Yeah, you give them an opportunity and they don't perform the way that you expect them to, or the way that you would like them to. And people that disappoint you now. But there should be some expectation when you're choosing your people. And so, in the midst of us being able to choose someone, I look at it and I say, I don't know. I don't know. And so I'm indifferent and all the best. But I think Omar Isaacs may come out victorious. Yeah, my cousin Kingsley, he's too interested, just like politics has become very petty. Everyone will correct you. Everyone will correct you. Everyone will correct you. Everybody on the internet have something negative to say about you. You want to correct that. For what? Just keep doing what you have to do. Just keep focusing and committed yourself to doing what you have to do. You don't have to respond to everything. There's a sensitivity that exists with these particular politicians. Michael Pinton has that sensitivity. He need to answer back everything. For what? you going to a different level. You in a different stratosphere when it comes to leadership in this country. You don't need to answer these fellas. What you even talking to them for? How you just getting row with Lincoln? How you just get you just give relevance to these people? How you just getting row with these things? What, how you get there? Kingsley also. Kingsley seek to correct you on whatever. I can't fight him. I hear what he's saying. Give God praise. Okay, Kingsley, I ain't gonna fight you. I ain't got no time for that though. I just don't have the time for it. Hey, you sit down correcting people all day. Uh-uh. Mm. People say he didn't do this. You got to stand up there and then tell. So if you got to stand up there and try to be able to change these people's mind, you then lose me. You lose me. You know what I mean? I ain't got to hear none of that. Nothing. So Omar, West Grand Bahama, FNM. Central Grand Bahama, Frayzat. Frayzat has been a part of local government and a part of these things. She had aspirations. She had this sort of a this schoolgirl type enthusiasm. That's what I gotta call it because she has always been geeked up to serve. She's always been geared up to serve. She's always been able to be enthusiastic about serving. Anytime you meet her, it feel like a customer service experience. Like, hi, how you doing? It's like this kind of a bubbly thing, right? Her presentation is one thing, but I don't know whether that our reputation in terms of her presentation precedes her. People speak well about her in that particular stead, right? Nobody has nothing negative to say about her, but I don't know her record. People would say about her bubbly posture, and they wouldn't necessarily tell me about her accomplishments on the ground. And so, if there is anything to be reported, it should be about the work that she's doing. And if there's no report on the work that you're doing, then it means that I now have to scrutinize whether or not you actually did, with the expectation of the people, what you should have done. But nonetheless, I believe that she will be victorious in Central Grand Bahama. That's FNM. That's 2 seats. You hear me? I believe that Michael Pintard will be successful in Marco City. I believe that Kwesi Thompson will be successful in East Grand Bahama. And I believe that Ginger Moxie will be successful in Pine Ridge. My good friend Marco Pine, if he hear me, he'd call me, Howard, you know you got to. Oh, what are you saying, Howard? He cussed me. Marco Pine is going to get a tremendous amount of votes. He may get 1,200 votes. But he will stop shy of 300 to beat this girl, Ginger. Because he's taking away from the coffers of the Free National Movement. And the Free National Movement wasn't smart enough to approach Marco Pine to pull him in. Because there's a fear factor. Y'all ain't want to hear me. Y'all ain't want to hear me. I won't be decent with you. Let me get a little taste of this thing here. Y'all ain't want to hear me. I won't be decent with you. Y'all forgive me, eh? Don't fight me. There's a fair factor that's associated with being able to choose Marco Pine. Because Marco Pine will win his seat. And if Marco Pine wins his seat, you can't beat Marco Pine at a convention for a chairman's position or a deputy chair position or even a leadership position. You're going to have a fight. And so, internally in the politics, you have to be able to identify that these people are not only jockeying for a position externally, they want to serve their party, their organization. The objective of a great deal of these Free National Movement members is not to serve the community, not all of them. I think some of them want to serve the community, but for the most part, their desire to serve is within the coffers of the Free National Movement. Let's just be very clear about this. Win, lose, or draw, whoever win have an opportunity to be able to become chairman, deputy chair, and leader at the next convention. Because Dwayne Sands is not going to be there. And they will not allow you to lead from the Senate. The Free National Movement will not. So everyone who is jockeying is looking for a position, not even if, listen, if they win the seat, they don't even think that they don't think that the FNM is going to win the government. They're not concerned about that. They only need to win their seat so I could be leader. That's it. I need to win my seat so I could be leader. I need to win my seat so I could be deputy. I won't be chairman. That's it. And because there was a very clear understanding with that, people like Marco Pine, who is vocal, will never get an opportunity from the Free National Movement. Let's be clear about this. Let's be clear about this. The FNM has 4 seats in Grand Bahama. The PLP has 1. And I only could say that based upon what is presented to us so far. Okay? The only way that you take out Omar Isaacs is if you put someone in there that could pull 650 votes from him. Hello? You got to put a known 8 Mile Rock, West Grand Bahama fella or lady in there that everyone knows, everyone loves, that could, okay, for instance, if you say George Jimmy Smith, running independent in 8 Mile Rock, George Jimmy Smith can get 800 votes. You can get that from Seagrape, you can get that from Jonestown, he can get that from Pinedale. He can get that. About 800 votes. Omar Isaacs knock out the gate. Buff. Kingsley go in. How about your woman? How about your woman? If you leave it like this, you're gone. If you leave it like this, you're gone. Gone. Lost in the wind. Gone. If you leave it like this, you're gone. Hey, if it wasn't for Marco Pine, Ginger was also going to be gone. Y'all don't want to talk this level of politics with me today, you know. All right. I give you 4 on Grand Bahama, 1 for the PLP. Okay? Let's do the outer islands today. Grand Bahama, 4 for the FNM, 1 for the PLP. You writing it? Abaco, North Abaco, 1 for the PLP. Kirk Cornish will win that seat. Kai Mill doesn't have the appeal. He has the tenacity, he has the fight, he has the drive, he has the love for community. He doesn't have the appeal, the political appeal, the posh politician appeal. Not that Kirk Cornish has it, you know. Not that he has it. That kind of that charm that's associated with, and swagger associated with being a big time politician. None of them have it, but Kai Mills is a little abrasive sometimes. He's very curt, short, to the point, and he doesn't see you in an elevated position. He don't care if you're Hubert Ingram, Minister, Brave Davis. He see you as man as him. And so he will approach you the same way. The same way he approaches the officers, the same way he approaches you with a clear understanding that we are men. And so the observation of that is a little bit, persons could be a little bit standoffish from him. Yeah, because you don't know what you can get. They love him, man. Listen, they love to see him from afar off, you know. When Kai got on this thing, everybody with him, they love him, man. They love him. Kai Mills here, and today, they love him. Kai Mills will get about 1,000 votes. He will. If he doesn't get 1,000 votes, he wins. He's going to get more. You understand? Kai Mills going to take those votes from the F&M girl. And Boodle's going to walk in. I'm not Boodle. Cornish is going to walk in there with 1,200, 1,250, 1,300 votes. Less than 1,500 votes. He's going to walk in. Kai Mills not going to create a campaign to say this man was alleged to be able to be this and that and all these things like that. None of that. He's not going to do that. Kai Mills not going to do that. Now he can say that to you. This is what you all want. This is the kind of representation you all want. After these allegations of the man, and that's what he can say that to you. And he can say that to Kirk in his face. That's Kai Mills. But there won't be a nasty campaign. You'll be uncomfortable by being able to tell somebody that to hear what he got to say about you in your face. But it's not going to be a nasty campaign, not from him. Any nasty campaign it's coming from the mechanics of the Free National Movement that is in their war room. That's it. If it comes. That's how it coming. South Abaco, I give it to the F&M. So much indifference about, no. I give it to the F&M. Exuma, PLP. North Eleuthera, that's going to be a hell of a fight between Maki and Sylvanus Petty. It's going to be a hell of a fight. Okay? Sylvanus Petty said the next time you see us, I can be the prime minister. Maki gone, and they say you had contracts and this and that and all these things, and they let you go, but they let him go under the wave of menace. And so returning, we'll see about that position. Maki's a good campaigner. He has that political charm. He knows how to touch people. He knows how to talk to them. He knows how to approach them. He knows how to show up to a funeral. He knows how to be able to do these things. He's tall. He's a charming guy. You understand? He has that old school feel, not nostalgia of yeah, man, this boy's a Bahamian. Yeah. Howard Ricky Mackey. Yeah. That's going to be a hell of a fight because I don't know. And this is easy data and information that we could be able to retrieve as we get deeper into the political season. But I don't know who to give that to. Clay Sweeting, I'm going to give him South and Central Eleuthera. Clay Sweeting. I believe he got that. Philippa's good. She's a beautiful girl. She feels like a prom queen. If she doesn't have the 100% backing of the organization, and if they're not setting her the type of support that she needs financially, from human resource standpoint, development for campaign, for being able to identify where your persons are, for being able to work on the ground, Clay can beat you. Clay can beat you. And Clay got it. Bam. North Andros, South Andros, PLP. Bimini, Berry Islands, PLP. Cat Island, Rum Key, PLP. Exuma, PLP. Long Island, for the first time in history, is up in the air. Because if they don't give the nomination to Adrian, Adrian could run independent and win. And you know what? If Adrian run independent, win, and walk over to the F&M, he's now viable and in a position that he can run for chairman, leader, or deputy leader of the organization. That's one of the fears that you have, because Adrian is articulate, insightful, capable, and he could do this. And youthful. It's a fear that you have. The PRP win, out of the 16 seats, the PRP win about 8 or 9. So if it ain't a split right down the middle, then the PRP can be able to shave some. For on Grand Bahama, let's go. PLP. PLP. 1 on Grand Bahama. 1 on Abaco. 1 in Exuma. 1 in Eleuthera. 2 in Andros. Michael. PLP. 1 in Michael. 1 in Cat Island. That's it. 3, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 so far. We put Exuma. We put Abaco. Grand Bahama. Bimini Berry Islands. That's what taking him over the top. PLP. That's 9. 3, 6, 9. Out of the 18. Out of the 16. 9. I have to give it to Howard Ricky Maki. I can give him the. I don't know Sylvanas. I don't know Sylvanas' ground game. I don't know his ground game. I don't know what people saying about him. I don't know his ground game. I don't know these particular things. But this is what I see in these areas. So it says, Howard, the PLP was suffered in Grand Bahama, even though you can make the argument over the past 4 years that it has not done, it has been better for Grand Bahamians under the PLP than it was under the Free National Movement. The hotel not being sold gives off the wrong impression, and those people will return to the F&M even though they did not do anything for them either. Yeah, that's just unfortunate, but that's what it is. I wouldn't vote for them. Not in Grand Bahama. I wouldn't vote for F&M in Grand Bahama. I would not vote for F&M in Grand Bahama. I would not vote for F&M in Grand Bahama. I wouldn't. This is me. If I was living in Grand Bahama, I wouldn't vote for the F&M. No. The nature of the F&M is not to be able to be a socialist organization. Their desires are not to be able to take care of the people in their constituencies, in their communities like that. No. They have big business concepts and they want to be able to do these things. You are merely a conduit to get to their objective, which is big business, which is politics. So this is just one of the it's a necessity. It's a stepping stone, right? It's a preliminary to get to their greater objective. And that's how the F&Ms have treated Grand Bahama for far too long. For far too long. That's how you treated Grand Bahama for far too long. Far too long. Far too long. I say you. I wouldn't vote. I wouldn't vote for FNM and Grand Bahama and 8 Mile Rock. I would not. Listen, if that boy was my brother, I wasn't gonna vote for him. If he was my mother, I wasn't gonna vote for him in 8 Mile Rock. Not under this thing. No way. Not under what? From what we see in Grand Bahama, from you all had governor general and deputy prime minister and leader of the organization and this and that and all these things that you ain't do nothing. Minister of Grand Bahama, you ain't do nothing. Nothing. All with this love affair that you got with the Port Authority and the relationship that you there and all these things, you ain't do nothing yet. I wouldn't waste my time. That's just how it. Say Brave is the most disciplined out of them all. Kai cool with Kirk. Okay. I didn't know that they're good. You say he won't. No, I don't expect Kai to attack him at all. Right? He says he won't attack Kirk. I think he will attack the FNM. Maybe he can be able to attack the Boodle Girl. Right? He said, with your sure calls, that gives the FNM 6 and the PLP 8. Well, the PLP 9, if you're giving them Michael. Yes. PLP 9. I give them 9 all the way, because I don't know. We still don't know if Sylvanus Petty can win. I don't know if Sylvanus Petty can win. I don't know if Sylvanus Petty can be able to take it. He says, I think Michael would be a hard PLP this time around, right? They better get somebody who will be able to have money in those areas. Howard, he was a big time PLP, but you're still my boy. I love you too, Peter. I'm not going to fight you, right? He says, Pintard might only beat, says Howard, most Bahamians don't vote for candidate, they vote for party in the PM. And if they hate that leader, you're gone. Every seat is up for grabs. And so the FNM always comes out on top in Grand Bahama. They could do anything to them people and they vote in FNM. It says Pintard might only beat the PLP in Grand Bahama. No. The PLP has some challenges in Nassau also. The PLP have some challenges in Nassau. The PLP have challenges in Freetown. The PLP has challenges in Southern Shores. The PLP has challenges in South Beach. The PLP has challenges in Yamacraw. The PLP has challenges in Marathon. The PLP has challenges. No two ways about this. The PLP has challenges in Pinewood, not because of the candidates that exist there, but because of the nature of Pinewood. They gain FNM PLP, FNM PLP. That's what they do. That's what they do. That's what they do. They get challenges. And as we identify these particular things and be able to talk about this, we got to be able to make some things happen. And we're going to talk. It's 2 o'clock, guys. I want to thank you so much for being able to tune in with us and being able to have this conversation. Tomorrow, God spare our life. I don't know if Garth will come sit with me and ask him. Tomorrow, God spare our life, we will try to complete our task and being able to have a good conversation about what exists. I told you 9 for the PLP in the Family Islands, 9 based upon this, 9 for the PLP in the Family Islands, right? And 6 for the FNM. I'm sorry, 7 for the FNM in the Family Islands. Roughly, well, it could be 10, but let's go 9, 7, right? In the Family Islands. And when we get in Nassau, I'm telling you, the PLP has some challenges. They have some challenges right here in the city of Nassau. Right here. I thought Mount Moriah was I thought this boy would have been able to retain that seat, but Marvin and that. Jesus. And I hear all kind of voice note anyway. Praise Jesus. This is too much. Amen. These people ain't playing no games. There's challenges. And guess what? Every man for himself and God for us all. Every man for himself and God for us all. Darren Pickstock. Best hope is that the FNM decided not to. His best hope could have been that the FNM decided not to run Brian Brown again. But I think that the FNM is going to run Brian Brown again. Brian ain't gonna lose 2 times to you. I tell you, you should stay on the ground. I tell you that. Not one day. I wouldn't even take, if we can celebrate my victory, we can do it outside the headquarters. You should stay on the ground. I tell you, every bucket can stand on its own bottom when it comes to the general election because everybody got to win. Everybody got to win. Now we're looking at these things. We get to make a determination. That's the show today, guys. I want to thank you so very kindly for tuning in with us. We're going to talk tomorrow a little bit more about politics. And we're going to talk about these 25 seats in the city of Nassau and give sort of a projection of what we're seeing at this juncture, right here, right now. Things could shift any moment, right? The FNM could go walking into the bushes and stumble over a bag and, oh my God, this is money, and pump the money into the campaign and boom, it could change the momentum. It could happen. It could happen. Money is the motivator. And these things can happen very quickly. And all of these dynamics that we're talking about, these sort of concepts and ideas about who's strong, who's this, who's likable, and all these things like that, none of that make a difference, and people they're getting taken care of. None of that make a difference. None of this make a difference. There's no campaign finance reform. You better do what you got to do to acquire what you got to acquire. Yeah, that's what it is. All right, guys, going to see you tomorrow. God spare our lives right here on The Foundation.
I have a dream where the powerful and the powerless will sit at the same table, where the haves will see the have-nots, not as burdens, but as brothers, where class will not divide us, but conviction will unite us. I have a dream that the oligarchs will remember we must all eat, that the brown-faced neo-colonialists will remember who they are and whose they are. I have a dream that fraternities will build beyond internal architecture into a national bond, that the walls of design will give way to the bridges of brotherhood, not a fraternity of symbol, but a brotherhood of substance. I have a dream that we remain focused, that we stay in our conviction and remain fearless, that we double down, fortified, to return this Bahamaland to the foundation.